everyone. CT here, and yes, I'm live on July 19th, reading up from day 18 on Brown Beyond Borders, or from Brown Beyond Borders Emerging into Golden Multidimensionality. So this month I've been doing a little experiment that I'm calling the Audio Lab. I know so many of you love to listen to your books. And since I'm getting ready to eventually record in public the official audiobook for Brown Beyond Borders, I wanted to practice out loud with you first. So every single day this month, I'm pulling up a chair, reading a few pages of my memoir right here. And if you're on the free list, these daily drops will stay open for just a few days before they head into the archives for my paid subscribers. And yeah, and if you want to keep up or see any of these other things before they've been or after they've ended up behind the paywall, subscribe. You can subscribe on a monthly basis. Even if you subscribe for 1 month, you get the ebook free. And then you can listen to all of the drops in whatever sequence that you want. And also for as long as you want, for as long as you're subscribed monthly. Or, of course, the annual plan will give you access to all of the audio recordings for the entire year. So if you're still on the free list, which is absolutely fine, make sure you keep up. If you ever miss a session or you want to unlock the whole archive to listen at your own pace, upgrade to a paid subscription at any time. So today I'm going to read chapter 10, The Birth of the Soul's Vision, and only the first half. It's a little bit of a longer passage, so we're just going to stick with the first half of it. Without knowing it at the time, I now understand that many of my early career struggles stemmed from my expectation that the American dream would be attainable for someone like me. But life was showing me that my path would lead in another direction entirely, towards my soul's vision. I invite you to read on as I further describe my experiences on Maui. A few transformative months shattered my preconceived notions of what success meant. A vision of golden children coupled with the messages from The Secret ignited a spark of hope and possibility. The traditional American dream was not the only path to success. I embarked on the path of my emerging soul, looking beyond societal limitations and embracing the inherent multidimensional potential of every individual. Meanwhile, the stark contrast between the golden children vision and the reality of the workplace, followed by a challenging journey through a dark night, led me to a profound realization. We all have a role to play in creating a world that honors the dignity and potential of every human being. All these events taught me that the soul journey I was on was not just a personal aspiration, but a vision for a better future, a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's exactly what the journey is for me today. It's about moving inwards towards limitless possibility, a light in which all people belong, where they can see their unique value and understand their contribution to the collective and thrive. The following anecdotes entertain and explain how I began to embrace this concept of the soul's vision, which I continue to mold and redefine to this day as I navigate the challenges and wonders that unfold before me and invite my participation. Jenna, another one of my documents processor colleagues, erupted into our little office like a diva bursts onto the stage, a supernova of sound and light. Oh my God, have you heard about this book? Jenna belted out those words with her sing-songy soprano voice as she sauntered into our cramped office, waving Rhonda Byrne's The Secret in the air. She was a huge fan of Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, and Mariah Carey. Oh, cried out Cicely in that Hawaiian way of saying yes, that you need to have heard to know. One of the sales guys told me I should read it, so I got it on audio and listen to it in my car when I can. It's pretty cool. I could tell Cicely got the gist of it, but wasn't as crazed about it as Jenna appeared to be. Well, what's it about? I asked. Oh my God, it's like so hard to explain, Jenna said, beaming with excitement as she made her way to her favorite cubicle and started unpacking her purse. Besides her pocketbook and makeup, her handbag was always loaded with salty snacks. But it's so life-changing. Did Mike tell you about it? Jumped in Kate, one of the indigenous Hawaiians in the office. All the sales guys are talking about it, chimed in Vanessa. Okay, but what is it about? I laughed as everyone started chattering on about the secret. Ty shrugged. He had never heard about it and was not interested. It's sort of hard to explain, Cicely said in her matter of fact Hello Kitty way. She looked pensive and continued working on her team management tasks on the computer. Yeah, you have to get the book or watch the movie, piped in Jenna. She had also started taking notes as part of our daily filing activities. Kate, one of the oldest ones among us, tried to help. It's a new way of thinking, like an attitude shift that's supposed to help you live better. The sales guys have been gobbling this stuff up because it's also supposed to help you make more money. That's what they're saying anyway. I haven't watched the video or read the book though. My curiosity was piqued, mainly because nobody was able to give me a clear answer about this book or movie or whatever it was. For the rest of the day, every time a salesperson walked up to the documents processing window, one of my colleagues would ask, "You know the secret, right?" "Oh, yeah," the salesperson would reply. "It's game changing." Every time I would press to find out more, no one seemed capable of using words to explain what this was. So after a day's work, I hopped into my car and headed over to the Borders bookstore in central Maui, not far from Waikapu, where we lived. I walked in and approached a salesperson standing near one of their computers. "Do you know where I can find the secret?" The salesperson barely let me finish my question as she made her way over to a display station that had the secret books, videotapes, DVDs, and audiobooks on CDs all over the place. I blushed. Thanks. About a week later, the hotel resort held its annual reward ceremony for the sales and marketing teams, including the administrative teams, such as the document processors, who handled all the paperwork that made the sale of timeshares official. Although it was a morning event, it had a gala setup. We all entered a grand hall where there were approximately 15 circular tables. The entire documents processing team, including Debbie, our team manager who worked in the corporate office, and our trainer who was flown in from the mainland, fit on one table. There were a few rallying speeches from sales leadership, as well as an inspirational video featuring a few world renowned, inspirational, and successful executives. Then the moment everyone was there for, the award ceremony. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect, as this was my first time in this sort of environment. Attending the event was no different from attending work. My sweetheart and I stuffed ourselves into our car alongside with his bike. We pulled over off the highway by central Maui, took off our shoes, walked towards the beach where we enjoyed our coffees, and chatted with each other about all sorts of things. My golden children insight from the previous week had remained with me and followed me for a long while. The same day that the voice appeared to me, I began seeing golden children nearly everywhere, even among people whose ethnic backgrounds I had never thought to consider. We weren't black, we weren't white. There are no so called races. We were all golden. This insight may have persisted and repeated itself in my consciousness because I had started to listen to the secret audiobook. Listening to its law of attraction principles made me feel good, better than I had honestly felt in a long time. On my morning drives, sitting behind the steering wheel, I would catch more and more whales leaping out of the ocean, pass beaches with surfers, and listen to Rhonda Byrne's soothing voice. Despite the shifting attitude, there was still a little nagging voice that kept reminding me that I could be doing something else. Timeshares? Really? I looked around the room. It was filled with all the employees of the timeshare division of the resort hotel where we worked. From the doling out of awards, you would think that most of the employees were salespeople. They need a lot of encouragement, said Cicely, not quite rolling her eyes. We watched on as another salesperson jumped out of her seat in utter surprise and bounced her way to the stage to accept her trophy and hear some kind words listing her accomplishments, 7 figures in her first year with the company, etc. After the 10th award had been handed out, I realized something. Every salesperson who went up on stage appeared to be Caucasian or of European ethnicity. There wasn't a visibly golden child among them anywhere. This wasn't upsetting to me, but I did find it odd given my golden children revelation from just a few days previous. Before we wrap up our event today, all the accolades we have bestowed on our sales team would not have been possible if it weren't for this very special team that works in the background. Year on year, their work has improved. Now, clocking in a record time of under 8 minutes, they process more contracts in less time than any other documents team I've worked with. And you know, I've been in this business for nearly 20 years now. That was the sales director, Rocco, a wonderful guy who moved to Hawaii more than a decade prior. As far as I could tell, he was from the mainland and also not golden, but everyone could see his golden heart from miles away. Everybody, he continued, give a standing ovation to the documents processing team. He held up a trophy, and his assistant director rushed up to the stage to hand out shiny silver keychains with stars on them to each one of us. I was proud in that moment, taken by surprise and surprised by my pride as well. While we were standing on the stage, the sales professionals all stood up to give us a standing ovation and hoot and holler at our work. We were all beaming. And then the moment ended. We turned to make our way off the stage while Rocco shared a few last words, asking us to stack our chairs and continue with our work. Most of the salespeople had already left the room at this point, and most of the documents processing team stayed behind to stack up a few chairs and help the backwoods team clear out the hall. So that is where I am wrapping up for today. I am looking at the Substack live, and it doesn't look like anybody else besides me is watching. So I'm going to assume that there are no questions. Today is a very special day for me. It is the second anniversary of my father's passing. And oh, I'm emotional. And I think actually it was his passing and writing the eulogy at his memorial service that kicked off my inner calling to get serious with myself about advancing with the self-publication of this book. And so, yeah, that was really kind of the start of this journey. Yes, I had kind of declared it to myself a few weeks earlier, but I still had kind of like a backdoor exit plan of, well, if I don't go through with this, nobody will notice. I haven't been on Substack long enough to, make a ripple or a splash. But somehow that event kind of spurred my seriousness in moving forward with the book. So I think I do have him and his passing to thank for helping me have the strength and the wherewithal to keep up with this work for the past year or so. So with that, I will bid you adieu. If you do have any questions about the book, the writing process, anything we covered in today's segment, or anything that I've, written in my Substack at all, just drop it in the comments of this post. I might answer yours on a future episode. I'm really glad I get to share this unedited process with you. Look out for the next pages in your inbox tomorrow morning. And if you know of someone who would connect with this part of the journey, please share this post with them while it's still open to the public. And if you want to support this audio experiment and my writing as I start drafting book 2, consider becoming a paid subscriber to unlock everything. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you